Debt can feel like a mountain. Unmovable, overwhelming, heavy. Banks and cards whisper quietly. Your balance will never fall. Setup begins when you see all debts as equal monsters. Interest rates and numbers make the math look hopeless, but the snowball method works in ways math cannot show. Small debts first, no matter the percentage. Momentum grows. Confidence builds with each win. Struggle starts when the bigger debts loom ahead. Numbers tell you it's inefficient, but psychology disagrees. Paying the smallest first creates tangible progress. Turning point comes when your first debt disappears. Celebration sparks motivation, energy for the next target. Each subsequent debt falls faster than the last. The snowball grows, rolling over larger sums. Transformation begins when momentum overtakes fear. Confidence outweighs numbers. Psychology fuels strategy. Payments become weapons, not burdens of anxiety. Debt loses power. Discipline gains control. Families watch balances drop. Hope replaces dread. Momentum compounds. Small victories fuel big wins. Psychology beats math. Behavior drives results. Communities share insights. Snowball inspires action. Debt shrinks predictably. Fear turns into clarity. Every cleared debt magnifies the next impact. Momentum spreads quietly. Discipline spreads rapidly. Interest loses strength. Strategy dominates the game. Reports become guides. Payments become shields. Families rise stronger, smarter, more empowered. Knowledge spreads, impacting children and neighbors. Debt shrinks steadily. Freedom grows alongside. Small victories multiply, turning fear into courage. Momentum grows nationwide. Strategy overtakes despair. Interest loses its power. Discipline takes over. Payments become weapons, not sources of stress. Families celebrate wins. Freedom feels tangible. Reports no longer confuse. They guide toward clarity. Communities teach young, breaking cycles early. Debt shrinks predictably. Interest shrinks too. Small steps compound, creating big outcomes. Families gain control. Fear replaced with clarity. Momentum builds quietly, changing financial futures. Knowledge spreads. Power replaces worry. Debt becomes manageable. Freedom becomes achievable. Small, consistent actions lead to real results. Families celebrate freedom, once unimaginable. Momentum spreads nationwide. Strategy dominates the game. Debt is no longer a chain. Interest no longer rules. Communities share lessons. Knowledge grows quietly. Reports guide actions. Payments become tools. Families rise stronger, smarter, and free. Momentum spreads quietly. Discipline takes control. Debt loses power. Confidence replaces fear. Every cleared debt magnifies the next impact. Small victories compound, creating unstoppable motion. Psychology beats numbers. Behavior drives outcomes. Communities teach neighbors, passing knowledge forward. Debt shrinks predictably. Fear turns into clarity. Momentum grows silently, turning habits into power. Families gain control. Small wins fuel bigger ones. Interest loses influence. Discipline dominates strategy. T. Reports guide decisions. Payments become tools. Momentum builds steadily. Confidence spreads nationwide. Debt shrinks predictably. Freedom grows alongside. Small steps multiply. Big change follows swiftly. Families feel relief. Once impossible victories. Momentum spreads quietly. Discipline overtakes despair. Interest loses power. Strategy takes over. Payments transform from burden into weapon. Families rise stronger, smarter, and more confident. Knowledge multiplies, impacting children and neighbors. Debt shrinks steadily. Freedom expands quietly. Small victories compound, creating unstoppable energy. Momentum spreads. Discipline replaces fear. Communities share strategies, impacting lives nationwide. Every payment counts. Every insight compounds. Families gain control. Once thought impossible. Debt is no longer a chain. Freedom becomes achievable. Interest loses power. Knowledge dominates always. Communities rise together, sharing insights and victories. Every correction matters. Every lesson compounds. Families celebrate wins. Momentum unstoppable now. Debt shrinks steadily. Freedom grows quietly. Small, consistent actions lead to real financial results. Momentum spreads nationwide. Strategy dominates the game. Debt is no longer a chain. Interest no longer rules. Communities share lessons. Knowledge grows quietly. Reports guide actions. Payments become tools. Families rise stronger, smarter, and free. Momentum grows quietly, changing financial futures. Debt becomes manageable. Freedom becomes achievable. Small victories multiply. Big change follows. Momentum spreads nationwide. Strategy overtakes despair. Interest loses its power. Discipline takes over. Payments become shields, not burdens of stress. Families celebrate freedom once unimaginable. Momentum spreads quietly. Discipline overtakes fear. Debt shrinks steadily. Freedom grows alongside. Every payment counts. Every correction matters. Families rise stronger. Power replaces worry. And together, America acts, ready to make American debt free.